And she wanted to go up to the next size dildo, and I'm like, no, this is perfect. Oh, we're live. Hey, this is the sound check portion of the show. Let us know how we sound, guys. And we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes.
There's a looks like some Patreon listeners are trying to get some traction on potentially doing a music specific topic.
Oh, like collusion type of thing?
Well, is it collusion if they're Patreon supporters? Because I mean that.
Well, I mean they could be like
extorting us, like some other individual may have done.
Are you referring to today's topic?
I may very well be.
All right. Well, we'll save that for when we get going. But all right. Apparently, we sound good. Who's 21 years old already?
Tool's album Lateralus.
Oh.
Easy for somebody else to say, but not me.
Yeah.
That's fucking shoulder, man. I swear to God. I think if I just punch Jason square in the face, it'll make my shoulder feel better.
Really? That's the cure?
It might be. You don't know. It could just loosen up whatever stabbing motion.
I got to stab her 3 times?
No, not just one time. Really hard. All right. So if we sound good.
Oh, hang on. I got to start recording. All right. We're recording now. Now we can start.
Oh, well, I was leading up into that, but okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you have more to say?
No, now I don't. Jeez. Now that we're actually recording.
Right.
All right. Well, then.
Well, this part still isn't going into the audio episode. I'm still going to clip the beginning off.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that every time.
Sure.
I don't edit much else these days, but I do still clip that out.
Really?
Yes. 2, our social media director, Lunar Girl. She wasn't feeling that well this last week. Get well soon, Kelly.
Get well soon. Hopefully she's on the mend. She is in the chat, so at least she is conscious enough to be involved in the chat.
Yes, always a good thing. That being said, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, the warming of the earth, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the summer to my spring, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I'm good. Happy spring day.
Yes, indeed. First day of spring.
It is the first full day of spring.
And it's exciting. We've had a couple of warm days over the last week. It's been beautiful.
We did. And thank God. It couldn't have come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, quite frankly, the winter doldrums are just absolutely fucking miserable, and we needed to come out of it.
Yep.
Get outside, come out of hibernation. It's nice.
Yes.
Nice.
All the good things. And I am dressed for the occasion, not only for spring, but also for today's topic. What are we talking about today?
So we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about some movie that Is it a movie? I mean, is it really a movie, or is it an SNL skit that was about an hour and 40 minutes too long?
Yes and yes. But we'll get into that. But we're talking about Boat Trip.
Yes.
The 2002 comedy classic.
Oh.
Starring Cuba Gooding Jr. and Horatio Sands.
What you just said was a comedy classic. Far funnier than almost anything that happened in this movie that we're going to talk about.
Yes, but let's not blow our wads yet.
Oh, I've got plenty of wad. Trust me. Like, as was said in the chat, if anyone's tuned in to watch Dave absolutely shit on something for 45 minutes, to an hour or more, this is your show, people.
All right. Well, before we get into that, we got some business to take care of. So should we talk about, I don't know, Patreon a little bit, since this was technically a Patreon selected topic for us. Extorted, selected, whatever, semantics.
I've never go ahead. Just do your fucking read.
If you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and help make it possible for us to continue to bring you quality content week after week. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our current patrons, Shotgun Mark, Frank Kalovic, which he has not given us feedback as to whether or not I'm pronouncing that right. I think I'm close, though. I don't think I'm quite there, but Kalovic or Kalovich. Fuck. All right. Keep us updated. Frederick Martin, Lord Helmet Fire, Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Ivo G, Kristen Roscom, Nick from Swede Studios, Catherine Rennick, who selected today's topic, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Don Solsky, Nick Schaefer, David Schmuck, General Chinobi, and our latest patron, Wally Frogmore. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Our Patreon page is a great place to give us your opinions regarding show topics and the direction of the podcast in general. Last week, we ran a poll asking whether you think we are focusing too much or too little on Star Wars topics. And
that's right, yeah.
And our patrons overwhelmingly voted that we are striking just the right balance in our Star Wars coverage. We love to hear that, and we thank everyone who gave us their input. Speaking of polls...
So small.
You can head over to our Patreon page right now and check out our latest poll. We're ready to discuss our next Patreon requested topic. If you'd like to submit a topic for our show, now is the time to let us know. Again, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters, and you are the reason why we do this.
Extortion.
So small.
Every week we add a new sound, so
Or several. As I'm sure we'll integrate into the rest of the fucking show today.
you know it. All right, Dave, what you got?
For Red 5 top stories, it's never too early to start thinking of your favorites in nerd pop culture for this year's Parsec Awards.
Oh,
it's going to be a year
no,
already?
we just fucking did that.
I feel like we just did that. But
That was just like 3 months ago or something, right?
about a week ago. Write that down. Got an idea for a category? Follow the Parsec Awards on Twitter and drop them a DM or flag down Luna Girl. She'll get the message to them.
Small.
More Red 5 Network news after the show. I feel like we're like a morning zoo radio show now.
That's the idea that I'm going for. That's really what I want.
Oh my god.
I was thinking more Ira and the douche from Parks and Rec, but
yeah.
Me so horny.
Oh my god.
so is that it? Are you done?
More for Red 5 news after the show if I didn't say that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's get into our week, shall we?
Yes.
So both of us were on the Escape Pod last week. We talked about this
right.
because they just had their 100th episode. I don't know if you can see that on the YouTube. But yeah, Escape Pod celebrated their 100th episode. We were on there. Lunar Girl was on there. I think
General Chinobi was on there.
Yep, Scott from Used and Abused was on there. So
Yep.
it was a good time.
Ro from the
From Red 5.
oh god, the Podfather. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
The Backyard TARDIS was on there. I
Yep.
think Press Play Studios was there.
Yeah.
There's names to these people that I can't fucking remember right now.
It was a big celebration, and I need that on the thing.
It's a celebration.
Yeah, so if you didn't get to see it live...
Wish I had more thumbs.
Hold on, I gotta write this down. It's a celebration. Too many distractions.
It's a celebration, bitches.
Go back and check out ATSW Presents the Escape Pod on YouTube, because we're on there, and really that's probably their best episode ever when we're on there. But no, congratulations on your 100th episode, guys.
Yes. Many more to come.
All right. Moving on. Can I ask you a question?
You're going to anyway.
What the fuck is wrong with drivers from Pennsylvania? Every time I get behind someone. Now, first of all, you and I, we drive a lot during our work days. We're in the car an average of an hour and a half to 2 hours a day
Facts.
with our commutes. Every time I'm behind somebody and there's some fuckery going on. Either they're on a 1-lane highway and they're going at or below the speed limit with nobody in front of them, or they don't know how to merge onto the fucking highway, or once they get onto the fucking highway, they're in the left lane going at or maybe a couple miles above the speed limit. Get out of my fucking way, you fucking idiots. And it's always somebody with Pennsylvania plates. Always. What the fuck is wrong with drivers from Pennsylvania? What happens over that fucking bridge? Like, does the retard button fucking turn on for them as soon as they cross the fucking bridges to come into Jersey? Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing?
So it's interesting you say that, because usually I find there's more aggressive drivers from PA.
I have
on the road.
never seen that, ever. They have always been a bunch of slow-ass, fucking passive, can't fucking merge, can't fucking drive right at all.
So back in the day when I was still active duty, I used to take the turnpike a lot. And exclusively I would take the turnpike. And when I get on a turnpike at like 5:30 in the morning, because we used to, I used to have your hours, right? So we'd have to be in work stupid early. And the professional commuters that were on the road on the turnpike, everyone, like, if you were going 75 miles an hour, you were going 15 miles an hour too slow.
Oh, yeah.
And so people were blowing past. I'd be doing 85 and people would be blowing past me. And most of the time, those people were PA plates. And even...
But this is on the turnpike, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the difference between the turnpike and 295.
It might be. And it may be the timing of it, too, because professional commuters are probably taking the turnpike because they know that, the cops aren't going to pull them over because hey, these are the commuters. These are the paying commuters. Now, for the 295, they're like, okay, these are the people that don't want to pay to fucking drive on a road. So they're worried about getting pulled over or whatever. I don't even know.
And that's fine. Get out of the third lane, though.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna go fucking 85 or above, get out of my fucking way. Get out of the third lane.
There's a so Lunar Girl's talking about Jersey drivers. They call them, like, they made a comment before, they called them front platers, right? Because New Jersey, New York has front license plates.
Yeah.
Great fucking comment. But those might as well be New Yorkers. That is a North Jersey thing. Like with tailgating and everything else. Like they up north, they do not know how to fucking drive.
Right.
There's a reason that there's people driving around with these rubber fucking aprons on their fucking vehicles because they're constantly bumping into each other. Fuck them. Fuck their fucking cars. Fuck them. But generally speaking, I don't have that issue with PA drivers. Like what I notice the most if I see accidents is I'll catch people like just driving to the studio today. It was somebody was obviously on their cell phone and rear-ended somebody else,
right?
In the left-hand lane because they were blitzing, trying to blitz by all the traffic going around the Cherry Hill because that's where all the congestion is.
Yep.
They weren't paying attention to slow down and bam. And next thing you know, we're all sitting in fucking traffic because these fucking idiots. Yeah. And of course, there's one of them that had the PA tags. Look, it doesn't matter what tags you fucking have. I think there's fucking ridiculous bullshit either way. I don't know where the problem is I don't know where they're coming from in PA.
That's true.
Because in the city, when you're in the city driving around, those drivers are not driving in Jersey like that. Because when they're driving in the city, they're driving around like fucking maniacs.
Right.
Like there's traffic lights or suggestions. It's like they learned to drive in Brazil for fuck's sake.
Right.
Like it's like insane. Like they can't be the same drivers that are going over the bridge and all of a sudden on fucking 295 are like, no. Wow, look at all this space. I'm just gonna go nice and slow now. Oh boy, I'm taking my Datsun out for a drive. Like I.
Yeah, and I hear it gets worse the more south you go too.
Oh yeah.
Like Florida, fucking forget it.
Oh, the Florida roadblock. Oh, that's where 3 lanes of traffic, 4 lanes of traffic, everyone's going the same speed, and all of it's too slow. Yeah, fuck them.
Anyway, I've been noticing just an uptick in like being behind these fucking PA drivers who don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's been pissing me off.
I'm surprised at that hour in the morning that you're seeing that.
It's in the morning and the afternoons. Going home.
Well, going home, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know where all these fucking cars are coming from.
Everybody's going back to work. You know, COVID is over for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I know, but there wasn't this many. Was there always this much fucking traffic?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember ever there being this much traffic. Like I don't know if those penguins just swam away like pre-COVID. Now post-COVID, I'm recognizing it. It's kind of like that thing where like every year you're suddenly remembering like, oh, this is how cold it gets in the wintertime, and this is how nice it gets in the spring. Like every year your body forgets that it's fucking nice out. I guess this is the same thing. Like suddenly there's traffic. I'm like, what the fuck is all this traffic?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was on 42 this morning. I'm like, because I get what happens is I go and get my McDonald's fucking drinky cup at with plastic straw.
Ooh, fancy.
They've had plastic straws lately. They
Nice.
must have ran out. But I'll go get my McDonald's right there and jump on the 42 and then like just be in traffic to get on 295 and just be like crawling along until I finally get past all of it, you know, past Route 70 or whatever. Like, where are all you fucking people going?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. But anyway, I just had to get that off of my chest. But I feel better now.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's good.
So the only other thing I had, it was a short weekend for me this weekend. So I didn't really like commit to a whole lot. Like typically I'll do projects and shit on weekends. This weekend I didn't do shit. Normally I at least do laundry. Like I'll do like all the dirty laundry in the house. Didn't even do that. Kristen's probably like cursing me for that, by the way. But I'm like, it's a short weekend. I'm fucking so tired. I just don't want to do anything. So I didn't. But then I'm sitting around bored at some point on, I think it was like Saturday night.
Bored?
Yeah.
You were bored?
Yes. Yeah. It's shocking, right?
What is that like?
It's this rare thing that happens every now and again.
Wow.
But anyway, so I'm like,
I couldn't tell you the last time I was bored.
right. Well, no, it doesn't happen to me very often either. But I got to that point and I'm like, you know, I've got over 300 fucking video games in my Steam library. And I guarantee you I've put a good amount of time into maybe a dozen of them. Because I've talked about this before in the past. Yes, she's hilarious. Anyway, like when a game goes on sale on Steam, if it's like dirt cheap, I'll just pick it up and be like, oh yeah, I'll play that later. And I've been doing this for like fucking, I don't know,
Ever?
15 years. Because, you know, Steam does this thing where it'll be like, oh, this AAA game that just came out 6 months ago was $60. Now it's $39.95 or no, $3.95 type thing, like $4. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll buy it for just a few bucks. And I've been doing that over and over again for years to the point now where I have 300 fucking games in my Steam library. I've barely touched a one of them.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to play a game in my Steam library this weekend. And I did. I fired up because we've been talking about South Park lately.
So smooth.
And I've had South Park on the brain for some reason. I'm like, I'm going to play the Stick of Truth. I always wanted to play that game. I bought it like fucking ages ago. I know I'm like 9 years fucking late on this. And, you know, I heard it was a good, fun game. So I fired it up and it actually is pretty fucking awesome.
Excuse me.
So this was the first of the South Park RPGs that came out in like, again, 2013, something like that. And it's been fucking brilliant so far. The show references, the humor, it's fucking great. Like I'm laughing nonstop as I'm playing this game. It was so well done and I can't wait to finish it. And then there's another game that they made just a few years ago in like 2018, I think, as a sequel to this.
It's one of those things where the South Park guys, the stuff they do that seems so basic, right? It's so sneaky good,
Oh yeah.
right? The South Park movie, probably one of the greatest movies ever put to film.
Oh god. Yes.
As opposed to this fucking tripe that we're going to talk about today,
Mm-hmm,
which should have never have been made. Ever.
we'll get to that.
Ever. Ever.
So yeah, hopefully I can finish it. It's apparently a very short game.
So smooth.
So hopefully I can finish it within, I don't know, the next week or two, and I'll let you know how it ended.
Right.
So that's really it.
Nice.
That's all I've been up to.
Nice.
Yelling at PA drivers and playing new
Right.
video games.
Right.
So how about you?
I actually took a couple days off this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting to that point at work where I'm like, I feel like I'm due for an episode. So I should probably take some time off.
And by episode, you don't mean of a TV show.
Facts.
You mean of a Dave wanting to throat punch somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I just realized?
Hmm.
I gotta add something to the notes before I forget as I get into my week.
Okay.
And no, Ivo, I'm not gonna take an hour for my week.
Is he in the chat?
He was.
Oh, sweet. I always miss him. He's always there and gone.
Well, yeah, it's late over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, went out to State College to see Kate. We went on St. Patty's Day, which we just passed St. Patty's Day, by the way.
Yeah.
Sláinte. So it's cheers in Gaelic.
Fuck the Irish. Anyway, carry on.
You're Irish, yes. Anyway, so yeah, we drove out there and had the worst Irish meal, worst fake Irish meal I ever had out in State College. It was awful.
Wow.
It was real. It was allegedly bangers and mash, and the only thing that it was fucking not good sausage and very bland potatoes with a side of fucking vegetables. It was bad. Kate got some fucking she had corned beef, which we should have known something was up when the waitress was like, "Oh, you're the first person to order corned beef." Like, huh?
On St. Patty's Day.
Uh-huh. And we were there at like 5:30.
Okay.
You know, so we're like, huh? Well, that's gonna go well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just not a good eating experience. Kathy had a lovely fucking grilled chicken salad.
Okay.
That she enjoyed.
So she didn't go with the traditional Irish
Because
delicacies, and
with her diet, there's not like she got a beef stew that had way too much fucking not enough beef, way too much stew.
Mm.
Which thankfully Kate had that to eat because I'll put it to you this way. Corned beef is supposed to be like I don't know if when's the last time you had corned beef, right?
Yeah.
So it's salty ham, like super salty ham. But it's not supposed to be like jerky.
Oh.
This was dried out to the point where it was like jerky. And thank God she had this beef stew to have on her palate to be able to fucking moisturize this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when she was eating it, she wasn't just eating hardtack out on the fucking mesa in Montana. It was not good.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had a very okay fucking they brewed their own beer and it was very okay.
I miss beer.
Yeah, it was I had one. I didn't even finish it. It was just nice for the moment, It's like, oh, I'll have a couple sips of this just to, for the reason.
Sure.
But yeah, it was bad. It was not a good meal, but it was a nice visit. It really was. The weather was gorgeous out there. Had to come back for the weekend though because we had a funeral to attend and some other stuff that had to happen. But while I was out in State College, right, while we were hanging out with Kate, she turned on a little show for us to watch on Netflix.
Okay.
She's like, was flipping through her Netflix stuff, and she came across Community.
Oh, I fucking love Community.
Right, you guys talk about it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So when she scrolled across, I'm like, oh hey, is that any good? Like Jason and Kristen talk about that shit all the time, and they're like, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I'm like, put one of those on. I just want to see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched a couple episodes of that. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah. Well, what's his name? Joel McHale. He reminds me so much of our friend the John.
Yeah.
Like
Kathy said the same thing.
Yeah. He all of his mannerisms, the way he talks, everything.
Right.
It's like I almost feel like John studied him and
Right.
It's
John on the screen.
Yeah.
Like, there he is. There's John being John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's actually really funny, like hairstyle and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, it was funny. I can see the appeal. And if I had time in my life to actually sit down and watch television, I probably would watch more episodes of it.
God, there's so many good episodes too.
Yeah.
I could suggest so many episodes. Just skip to this one. Oh, like the paintball episode and just so many.
It was I'm I just briefly looked at the chat and saw Homer backing away into Bush gif, and I don't understand what that means.
I'd see somebody yelling my name like in exclamations, like what did I do?
Maybe it's the fuck the Irish bit.
Oh, it could be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so we watched a little bit of that. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It was funny, and it wasn't like, because I have this thing where it's like the cringy shit that fucking gets me. Like why I don't watch Friends, right? I don't like it because like the humor is like this uncomfortable like anxiety like.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not into the cringy fucking shit like that.
So, sort of like Meet the Parents.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that at all. Like, I'm like,
Like the uncomfortable moments.
I'm just not into that. So Community it didn't have a lot of that. It's just funny. So as opposed to Boat Trip, which was not funny at all.
I disagree. I found a couple of scenes to be funny.
Boat Trip was terrible.
Dude, we're not even there yet.
It came to my mind because, hey, here's a show that's actually funny and had a good long run, you know, as a series, because it was funny and had reason to be on the air. Whereas this movie, not so much. But anyway, so yeah, got to see Community, came back. We had a funeral, blah blah blah. It's sad face, but
Jesus Christ, man.
Watched some college basketball yesterday, because yesterday was like kind of my last day of not having anything to do before I start grad school,
Right.
which was today, right?
Exciting.
So yeah, it's terrifying. So I'm like, you know what? We had brunch with my aunt and uncle, and then had some shit to do at the lodge, came back, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch some basketball and fucking play some video games later. And it's always nice. I watched Villanova beat Ohio State, which was nice. I made sure I messaged Chuck and gave him a bunch of shit. So that was nice. And so Villanova next in March Madness plays your alleged Michigan basketball team.
Oh.
So some back and forth between Don from the Escape Pod and myself
Yes.
ensued, and so we made a wager. And that wager would be that whoever wins, if my team Villanova wins, then he has to buy a T-shirt from our TeePublic site, and he's going to wear that T-shirt on the show.
Okay.
And if Michigan wins, then I will do the same with the Escape Pod.
Sweet. Do you pick which shirt they buy, or do they get to pick which one they buy?
You know what? That's a good question. We'll have to work that out.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's true, because if we pick the Jason Rose one or something like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Now, saying that, I think what would make more sense if we were advertising for the show.
Sure.
But that being said, I already own a Brady Dabbing Escape Pod shirt.
Right.
So I don't know what other Escape Pod shirts that I would potentially get that would have the same type of effect that the Jason Rose shirt would have, if there was that quid pro quo there. So
Sure.
we'll figure that out. But a wager has been made. The gauntlet has been thrown down. The game is on Thursday. So by next week, we will see. We won't have a T-shirt exchange by then, because obviously it takes some time.
Right.
Go to TeePublic or go to our link tree, which is
It's in the show description.
it's probably down there somewhere. Down there.
Yes.
No, down there.
Oh my God.
Not there, but there. Anyway.
So smooth.
Very good. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, grad school. I'm fucking terrified. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking retard. But it's okay. It's all right.
Well, you've made your way to this point, so
Yeah, I've made it this far.
you can't be
Why not?
completely brain dead.
Just dragging myself to the finish line. Speaking of, I fucking woke up this morning and I didn't do shit yesterday. Like all those things I just described to you. Watching basketball, Having brunch, going to the lodge. None of those things entailed me, I don't know, like doing a 300-pound clean and jerk or anything like that. Which is what my fucking shoulder feels like when I woke up this morning. Like intense fucking pain all goddamn day. It still hurts right now. And I have maxed out my Motrin intake for today.
Oof.
Like, so, and Luna Girl attests to this because I know she goes through similar things with pain management, but it's like my pain cup is always like this full, which you can't see on the YouTube because I just noticed it's below the camera. It's like this full.
Still, the audio audience has no fucking idea.
No
what you're
clue.
doing.
I'm holding a cup and I'm pointing to an area towards the top of the cup for the audio audience. And then you add some stupid bullshit with my shoulder, and it goes. It's just fucking ridiculous. All I did was wake up, and it's been like this all fucking day.
Serves you right.
For waking up. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
It's just fucking. Oh my god.
Welcome to your 40s.
I've been in my 40s for longer than you. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you and fuck this fucking movie called Boat Trip.
Are you done with your week?
Yeah, let's talk about this fucking shit wagon of a fucking movie.
Do you need a break or anything?
No, I'm ready. Let's fucking do this.
All right, so our Patreon supporter, patron Catherine Rennick, who is my sister-in-law,
Yes.
selected this movie
Yes.
because this is one of her favorite movies.
Extorted us.
Yes.
I've never felt so cheap. We are cheap whores.
We are, but you know, we chose this. So
This we thing is. If I had known what we were getting into,
I'm pretty sure you were the one who was pushing us to restart the Patreon.
Well, that is true. That statement is true.
So you have to accept everything that comes with having a Patreon.
The fuck I do. I don't have to accept shit.
So anyway, we made a deal with Catherine that if she became a patron, we would talk about Boat Trip because, long story short, not very short, but anyway, so way back in the days of yore, yes, and we will do so.
Yes, we will.
And just a quick reminder to those of you only listening to the audio version of this episode, you're missing out on so much that's going on in the chat on YouTube. You're subscribe to our YouTube also.
Yes, please.
Anyway, back in the days of yore, 2002, 2003, Kristen and I had actually just moved back to Jersey. We were living in California for like a year and a half after I had separated from active duty Air Force, and I'm like, I'm done with the military for good. Well, that didn't quite work out. We moved back to New Jersey, rented a house, and I rejoined the military. And part of living in that house, her sister Catherine was a roommate with us because, you know, I wasn't making much money at that time. I was still an airman. So we needed somebody else to help pay the bills. So she roomed with us, and it was a pretty good time because we were all in our early 20s. We did have Rob at this point, our oldest son. He was born at the end of 2002, but it was still like party central at our fucking house. And Catherine worked. So there was a time when we had these stores called Blockbuster for some of you younger folks in the audience, where you would go to the store and they'd have DVDs all over the walls. DVDs are those discs that you used to put into DVD players to watch movies instead of just going to the internet and be like, I want to watch this movie, click, 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 boom, now you're watching the movie. So anyway, so she worked at Blockbuster. She got all kinds of free rentals, and it was a constant stream of fucking movies, no pun intended, a constant stream of movies in our fucking house. And she watched a shitload of more movies than we did, but we were watching a shitload of movies at the time. Anyway, she watched Boat Trip during this time frame. She absolutely loved it. Now, it might have been a different time. Like, I don't know how well some of this humor was in 2003, but she loved it. And for the longest time, she tried to convince us to watch this movie. But I knew from reading like critic reviews and everything else, because I kept up with shit like that back in the day, that this was not a good movie. Like they raked this shit over the coals, even back in 2003, right? So we knew it was a bad movie. The previews made it look like a bad movie. And for the longest time, she tried to convince us to watch it. And after it became very clear that we wouldn't watch it, we still like gave her shit about it for quite a while over the years. Like she'd suggest something like a movie or something to watch, and we were like, oh, is it as good as Boat Trip? Otherwise, she has pretty good taste in movies and TV and all that, but we would not let her hear the end of it while never watching the movie itself. Now, flash forward to 2022, and when Dave and Jason are desperate for new Patreon supporters, here comes Catherine with a $1 a month contribution and a condition that we watch Boat Trip. So here we are, broken and disheveled men.
Thank you for that interesting diatribe into your fucking early life.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a list of movies that came out in 2003.
Uh-huh.
And stop me when I say something that would be considered to be worse than what we're about to talk about.
Well, there's one I can think of right off the top of my head, but go ahead.
Well, but we're gonna save that one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Old School.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. We need to talk about that next year. That was 2003.
It was.
Oh, what a movie.
Old School. Let's see. How about Bad Boys 2?
I've never seen any of the Bad Boys movies.
Really? None of them?
No.
Never had an instinct?
I might have seen the first one now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the first one. I never
Most
saw any
people
of those.
did. Kill Bill Volume 1.
Ah, yes. I was going to bring that up when we talk about some of the cast of this movie.
The Italian Job.
Never saw that.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
That was the first one, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
I never got into that. There are a couple. There are some real stinkers here in 2003. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
SWAT.
Oh God.
I actually enjoyed that movie, but it's a fuck ton better than Boat Trip.
Sure.
It's better.
Okay. Samuel L. Jackson was in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Bruce Almighty.
I didn't like that movie.
The hardest, because we'll probably never talk about it on the show, but the hardest I have ever laughed at a movie was with Bruce Almighty.
Was it when he was making Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't like that. See, I didn't think it was that funny.
So this is one of those instances where, again, this is a sidebar, right? Because
Sure.
I want to talk about anything except this fucking bullshit movie. So we were on the jet, right? And it was me and Chuck Brinzer. We're sitting up in the crew rest compartment, and we're watching a DVD, and we're like sharing headphones.
I think you've
like,
told this story before.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And we're sharing headphones, and we watch this fucking scene. Like, we're watching Bruce Almighty, and it gets to this fucking scene, and when he starts fucking making him, like, you know, do the puppet thing,
Mm-hmm.
I just start laughing my fucking tits off. I could not control myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing so hard. And I don't laugh like that.
Sure.
Hardly ever. Ask my wife. Like, it takes a lot for me to fucking laugh out loud at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I laughed, and I still internally, when I envision it, it's still in my head. It still is fucking funny. But yeah, there's other parts of that movie that are like, whatever. But it's better than fucking Boat Trip, right? Yes. Pauly Shore is Dead. I've never seen it, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
School of Rock came out that year.
That was okay.
Dumb and Dumber. I never saw that.
Yeah. That was the one that didn't have Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels.
Oh,
They cast two other actors for that.
American Wedding. The Cat in the Hat was in 2003 with Michael Myers.
I never saw that.
You never saw that?
No.
Oh, we got to do that. Somebody write that down. Oh, you want to talk about some fucking weird shit. Oh, yeah, we definitely have to do that one. Anyway, I say that there's a lot of fucking good movies that came out in 2003 that were far and away better than this fucking piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that was ever a question, but let's talk about this. So, technically, yes, this movie came out in the U.S. in 2003, March 21st. Today is its 19th birthday. Go figure. See how we did that?
Yeah,
We're
we're
We're masters at planning. Came out the year before in the UK, like the previous October, for reasons. I couldn't find a reason why it would come out in the UK like 6 months before it came out here. It was obviously an American movie.
Test audience.
Probably. Well, yeah, they probably realized after they had an early cut of it, they're like, fuck, this is bad.
Let's try and make some money off the Brits.
Yeah.
They'll watch anything. And then we'll release it in the US and try and make up the difference.
Right.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, and that must have been it. Budget-wise, cost $15 million to make. Box office-wise, made $15 million.
How? What did they spend $15 million on?
I don't know. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s salary, because he was still riding that Oscar win that he had for Jerry Maguire several years earlier. So apparently that can yield a high price tag, at least for a few years. That's all I can think of.
$15 million.
Maybe the Dick ice sculptures were pretty expensive too.
They probably were expensive. I mean, honestly, that probably was pretty expensive.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when we start talking about the specifics of the movie, that was one of the lines where I actually laughed out loud, because fucking Cuba's like fucking hungover as shit. Horatio Sands is trying to get him up so they can go to the breakfast buffet. And he's like, well, how gay can a buffet be? And he goes and he's just staring at this massive fucking ice dick. It's like water squirting out of it.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought that was funny.
Yes.
Okay.
But was it funny enough?
I don't know. Well, the critics did not find it so funny. Rotten Tomatoes has an approval rating of 7%, based on 90 critics with an average of a 3 out of 10.
7%.
Yeah. So, fairly disliked amongst the critics.
Yeah.
Now, any other year, this movie probably would have cleaned up at the Razzies.
Right.
But another movie also came out this same year that sort of took the cake in most of the categories, and that was a little movie called Geely, starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Oh, see. Which, again, circling back around, the news just broke like 2 days ago that they fucking are buying this multi-million-dollar mansion together.
Are they really?
Yeah, because you know they were back together, right?
I
Ben
know,
Affleck
I
and
had
Jennifer
no idea.
Lopez. You hadn't heard that?
No, I don't watch fucking TV, dude.
That broke like a year ago. It was like in all the major news outlets. Yeah, Bennifer's back.
Listen, if I'm not getting it in some sort of fucking briefing, I'm not getting it. Like,
Okay.
Honestly,
Fair enough.
I read the early bird and I get fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I'm not paying attention to any of that bullshit.
anyway, Geely took away all of the Razzies that Boat Trip deserved, quite frankly, that year. We've got some quotes from some notable movie reviewers at the time. Roger Ebert said, "This is a movie made for nobody, about nothing." Richard Roper said, "If this ship hit an iceberg, I would have rooted for the iceberg."
I like that. That's a good one.
The Rotten Tomatoes summary says, "Boat Trip is a lame, juvenile farce that's heavy on stereotypes and desperate antics, but short on brains and laughs."
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because even in 2002, which was 20 years ago, right?
Mhm.
This is fucking really heavy on the gay stereotype.
Yes.
Like, really heavy on it.
Yeah. And it's like, according to this movie, every gay is like a sex fiend fucking, maniac, where they're all just like dressed up in S&M clothes all day. And I'm
Right.
like, I've known some gay people in the past, and they don't all wear like fucking assless chaps,
No?
in their day-to-day life.
they
And
don't.
and they're not, constantly engaged in weird sexual activities all day.
Right. They're not overly flamboyant. and-
No, well, depends on the person.
Right. It was. We will get there.
All
I am
right.
sure when we break down this movie to its critical parts.
Yeah. So for anybody, I'm sure a lot of people are listening and watching, haven't seen this movie. We'll give them the synopsis.
Spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
It's a sack of garbage. Do not waste your time.
Well,
For God's sakes, don't do it.
but still, so they can
Watch
follow
Birdemic.
along. Ooh, we should watch Birdemic again. No, but so they can follow along. The plot summary is 2 friends want to book a cruise so they can meet hot women, get accidentally booked on a gay cruise. So now they're on a 7-day gay cruise. And this is their reaction to
The
everything.
end. Cue the credits.
Right. But then there's all kinds of shenanigans to go along in between. Stars Cuba Gooding Jr., who, like I said, was still riding the wave of his Jerry Maguire Oscar win. Surprisingly, didn't do a whole lot. Didn't do a whole lot after this for many, many years. In fact, I was looking at his IMDb page, and yeah, his career really was starting to go downhill at this point, and he didn't really kind of come back into the mainstream and probably until the mid 2010s. I know he played O.J. Simpson in that American Crime Story show. He did a pretty decent job in that. Lately, he's been playing a defendant in a bunch of sexual assault and harassment lawsuits. So that was interesting. I hadn't heard any of that, but yeah, apparently that's like his life now, is he's defending from a lot of allegations of some misconduct. So good luck with that, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Don't use Cosby's lawyers.
I know, right? Jesus. Also stars Vivica A. Fox, another person who was hot in the late 90s. You know, she was in Independence Day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she had a very quick bounce back with Kill Bill that you mentioned, also in 2003. So her career wasn't as affected by this movie.
Well,
but,
as it shouldn't be, because like she wasn't
in a lot of it either.
right. And yeah, she just wasn't in it.
Yep.
A lot, except for getting puked on.
In the very beginning,
In the
the first few minutes, and then like just miraculously reappearing at the halfway point,
Right.
and be like, "Oh yeah, remember this character?"
Was
Now-
that halfway?
Yeah, it was. I looked at the timestamp.
It was exactly halfway?
Yeah,
Wow. So it's like they were writing us and like, all right, we needed to go this, we need to change this direction halfway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to, before this happens, we need to make sure that Horatio Sands
yeah.
gives oral to the fucking tanning coach.
Oh, and we're gonna talk about her
Okay.
because you know who that tanning coach is, right?
No.
Okay, well, first of all, let's back up because the guy who wrote and directed this doesn't have much credits to his name, especially after this. He apparently got lucky and wrote one movie in the 90s, a little movie called Kingpin. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Oh! Now
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah, so it's the same lady,
Oh.
the landlord from
Well, she's-
Kingpin.
She's cleaned up a little bit
Yes.
for this movie.
Right. So I guess this dude probably got lucky. The guy's name is, what the fuck's his name? It's some weird sounding.
Oh.
Mort Nathan. His first name is Mort. M-O-R-T.
Okay.
Nathan. Wrote some episodes of The Golden Girls, wrote Kingpin, wrote this movie, and like 1 or 2 direct-to-videos after this, and then nothing. Like, I'm like looking at him like, did he fucking die right after this? No.
Hopefully he took the money that he made after this and be like, I got lucky. I made some money. I'm going to disappear now.
Yeah. Well, as he should have, because, yeah.
This movie has given me tremendous gas. Just saying.
Understandably so. Horatio Sands was like 4 years into his SNL run at
Right.
this point in this. Not a good actor at this point in his career at all. I don't know if he ever has been, because if you watch SNL during his time on the show, he's always like a half a second from breaking character and just busting out laughing.
He's playing the same person over and over and over
Yeah.
and over. And it's like, let's have a Latino Chris Farley. Try and do that
Yeah.
and be funny about it. Go.
Yeah.
No.
And
No.
and he can never keep a straight face on SNL. And I told Kristen, you know what it probably is?
When did Chris Farley die?
97 or 98, something like that.
Could you imagine, if you will, if this movie had had Chris Farley in it?
Could have been a lot better.
It would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah, because honestly, Horatio Sands' performance in this is god awful.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's fucking terrible. And I'm telling Kristen, I'm like, these are probably the best takes they could get with him, honestly. because these are probably the only takes that they got that he had a straight face on.
It's not 100% his fault. However,
No.
Could you imagine though if you put Chris Farley in that same role?
Oh yeah, him doing his typical shtick and for the love of God, we're on a gay cruise.
I could have seen it. I could see it.
Yeah.
It'd be a completely different movie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna sit here quietly, let you talk about the movie, and I'm gonna replay the whole thing with Chris Farley in.
Well, so
I'm gonna smile quietly.
to wrap up the cast.
Not Chris Farley.
No, not Chris Farley. One
Sad face.
last person that I wanted to talk about who is the true bright spot of this whole movie.
Tits McGee?
Miss Rosalind Sanchez.
Oh yes. I've seen her before in other stuff, but I never like this.
Yeah. Like, god damn. She was some eye candy if I've ever seen some.
I genuinely think that she was drunk though for a good amount of the scenes that she was supposed to be like drunk and interacting. It's like I think she was legitimately fucking inebriated.
Could be. Yeah, because like her character's decisions and the way she acts, not normal or even remotely real whatsoever.
Right.
Like,
but regardless of that, I just think like if you were forced to be on that fucking set, you'd probably be drinking.
oh yeah,
A lot.
probably quite a bit, or maybe
Anyway.
some cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. But
Wish I had more thumbs.
yeah, even Kristen agreed with me. There was this point where we're watching the movie, and I'm like, she is really fucking hot. And Kristen's like, yeah, she is. I'm like, okay, good. I'm just glad we're on the same page because Kristen and I don't normally agree on stuff like that. And this was like 100%. Yeah, this girl is fucking fire in this movie. And I looked her up. Again, you got to remember, this is 20 years ago. She still looks great today. You know, she's in like her late 40s now, I think. But still, she's...
Yeah, I mean, that's good genes.
Yeah, indeed. So I just wanted to bring her up. I have a bunch of notes. I don't know if you want to just like go through my notes or if you have anything to add before we get into...
I want you to go
like,
through
some of
your
the-
notes. I want so badly for you to go through your notes.
Yeah. We start off with that terrible proposal. Now, this is the other thing about this movie, too. It moves so fast in the beginning. Like, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be kind of a pretty fast-paced, quick comedy. Like, grinds to a fucking halt about halfway through. And, like, if this had been a 45-minute movie, might have been okay. But, yeah, it's moving so fast. You get Cuba, like, fake proposing to his fucking dog. Very quick, like... music montage in the very beginning where he's like fucking dancing around because I think they're like, okay, everybody remembers you from Jerry Maguire and doing that end zone dance and everything. So we got to have you dance again. You know, you got to be charismatic and you got to do all this stuff.
Right.
And it just seemed very forced in all of this. And then we had the hot air balloon scene. Question for you. If, let's say I wanted to have a romantic moment with, like I wanted to treat Kristen, right?
Right.
You know, I wanted to take her out to a nice dinner,
Yep.
take her out for a hot air balloon ride.
Right.
I could just like rent the hot air balloon.
Sure.
And pilot it myself, right?
No, absolutely.
And it'd just be the two of us up there in the
Yeah,
basket.
you don't need a license or anything.
No.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay. I just, that's what I thought. Because after seeing this movie, I'm like, oh, I just assumed that they'd have to have, you know.
Oh, no. Dude, it's just like you go to the dollar store and fucking inflate balloons.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Okay. I
Absolutely.
just wanted to make sure
You
we
don't
were...
have to have a licensed balloon pilot that knows how to fly a balloon and can fly,
Yeah, because I mean,
and land.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen, honestly?
Fly into power lines, die a horrible death.
Oh,
Because it's not the power lines that electrocute you, it's actually the fall from the power lines
yes.
that kills you.
Yeah. But, you know, thankfully, Cuba's great in the air. You know, he doesn't get airsick or anything
Not
like
at all.
that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Maybe Vivica A. Fox is a licensed balloon pilot.
Oh, she might have been the one.
Maybe she was.
But we didn't know because we didn't know shit about her for
Right.
the first, I don't know, hour and 10 minutes of this movie.
Except that her cleavage can receive puke
Yes.
at a reasonable volume.
Yeah. But don't know a thing about her character or anything.
Except she's a raging fucking cunt.
Yeah. But like you kind of get a sense of that in this first 5 minutes, but then it's over before, you know, you even get to understand any of the background there because she dumps him. I'm
All right.
fucking the buffer
All right, all
boy. And
The fucking buffer boy. All right. So I'm watching this. Dave's watching us, right? Dave's I've got it on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this movie for the show. Sitting here, and I'm watching it on the computer. I got headphones on. Kathy's watching the show, and she could tell you because she was gonna take pictures of me watching it. And like the faces I was making.
Oh, that would have been great. Why didn't she do that?
Because I told her no. It's fucking ridiculous. Because it just would have been me making a shitty face, which you can.
Kathy, just do it next time.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can see me making this shitty face now.
Those would have been some great Patreon exclusive pictures.
Sure. Whatever. Anyway, I am saying boat trip was unrealistic. Anyway, we'll get to more aviation related things later.
Oh yeah, because there is more.
Yeah. The fucking shit with the dog in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm immediately watching this going, this movie was made in 2002. You're doing an opening 1980s montage thing.
Oh yeah.
Like what is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then
it was
even,
the song,
there's no continuity between what's happening in the montage to what's like he's walking with the fucking dog in this outfit, then in dancing in this in a completely different outfit in a different time of day, then coming back to this other thing. What day is it?
Right.
What is going on?
Right.
This is fucking ridiculous. I'm already mad. Yeah. I haven't looked at reviews. I know nothing about this movie. I'm watching the intro, the opening credits. I'm already fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And for no reason other than watching it for 5 minutes going like, this is going to be awful. I can tell you already. I had no idea Cuba Gooding Jr. was going to be in it.
Oh, really?
When I saw him, like, oh, okay.
I knew he was in it. I was surprised by Horatio Sands and some of the other people.
And Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell had a cameo.
Like, you had all these random people, and I'm like, why did these people let themselves be in this movie?
Yeah, especially Will Ferrell, who was about to do Old School
right
the next year or that same
year.
Well,
you know what? You give him money, he'll do anything.
I guess.
I mean, Christ, it's Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
But, and that's most of the SNL cast. I mean, let's be honest. But that first 5 minutes with the fucking dog, like, are we really doing this? Are we really fucking doing this?
Yeah.
And that's when the faces started, and Kathy starts.
I wish she would have done that. I really wish she would have. Damn it. Anyway, so she fucking dumps him on the balloon. Like, I'm fucking the buffer boy. And then
the buffer boy. Really? Really? The guy, the buffer boy, who we see later. Mm-hmm. The buffer boy.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not a fucking analogy for something. No, he's the fucking moron who's buffing your BMW.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Which even in 2002, I really don't think was a real thing.
You might be right. But I mean, her dad owns the muffler shop. So
okay.
Well, I mean, if you need a muffler for your car, you go to the muffler shop.
I guess.
I mean, where else would you go to buy a muffler besides the muffler shop?
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. I'm going to go. I'm going to go rent a balloon right now. I'm going to go rent and fly a balloon.
Go rent a fucking hot air balloon. You can fly all over Jersey, just unimpeded. Just do whatever the fuck.
Actually, do you know who's more qualified than fucking either of those two fucking idiots to do anything in a fucking hot air balloon?
Who?
Me. Because they don't fucking know shit about it. Oh, did you notice there was a fucking German registry on that fucking hot air balloon, by the way?
I saw that. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like, where did they take this stock footage from?
Right.
And then, anyway, let's move on from the fucking balloon.
So she dumps him. Another scene that I thought was funny was he's like at his computer right afterwards. Well, no, first of all, he gets home and he's like petting the dog. He's like, I know you don't care, buddy. You can lick your own balls.
Right.
Which I thought that was hilarious. Nothing?
That would have been funny if it had been. No, I didn't laugh.
Right.
I didn't laugh.
I thought it was hilarious.
I didn't laugh because it.
Whoa.
Oh, hang on. I think I loosened something.
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah, now there's like a.
It's like a.
What did you do? Stop hitting stuff.
I don't know. And it's gone.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that was.
Science.
Yeah, fuck. No, I didn't think it was funny. And then I half expected him to sit at the fucking computer and go, "You've got mail." You know,
well, yeah, because he's like sitting in front of the computer. He's looking at that picture of Vivica A. Fox on his computer, right? And then it goes
the screen show.
Then it goes to 6 months later, and he's still in front of the computer looking at the same picture.
What does he do for a living?
I don't think we ever determined that.
Apparently, he does nothing.
Right.
Has a real nice apartment.
I was thinking
has a dog that apparently can not only lick its own balls but feed itself.
Right.
Because all he does is sit in front of the fucking computer.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't get fat.
Yeah. Then he gets a call from Horatio Sands, his buddy, who is apparently a janitor at a massage parlor.
Right.
Oh my God. Who apparently likes to sexually assault customers.
Because that's what you would do, right? You would, like, in that scenario, you'd have a janitor walking through. Have you ever gotten a massage? Like, have you ever been to
Not a professional one, no.
So, I mean, I had a membership at a Hand and Stone, right? This is the closest thing I've had to a massage. And it was a real massage. I'm not saying it was fake. I'm just saying.
You want boom boom?
But you go in there and it's like, it's very like, okay, you go in this room, you close the door, you know, there's no way some random fucking maintenance person would be wandering through to put his hands on somebody. Just not like, and then the fact that he would do it and the other guy would come in, I'm like, this is where like, here's, okay, I'm watching a fucking SNL skit.
Yeah.
I'm watching an SNL skit and it needs to be over right now. Like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where the fucking boat is. What boat?
Well,
because again, I haven't read anything about this movie.
Well, at this point, we're only like 3 minutes into the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm already fucking aggravated. There's no boat. I'm watching a fucking SNL skit. I've watched a dog and we got ball licking.
Right.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Oh, it gets better. I did love when he's like massaging her and she's like, harder, harder. And he like reaches back and
really
like, slaps
you
the
enjoyed
shit out of
that?
her ass.
You enjoyed that?
I thought the ass slapping part was funny.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay.
I thought it was ridiculous. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't even funny.
So they go to this fucking club and
it was not funny.
Horatio Sands bumps into some fucking old guy friend of his.
The China Club.
Yeah, the China Club. Welcome to the China Club.
The chicken China Club.
And this fucking loser friend of his, this guy who looks like he could never fucking land a hot chick in his life, has this fucking like tall blonde, and he's like, oh yeah, we just met on a cruise, you know?
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
And now Horatio's like, oh, we need to go on a cruise, and we'll
hang on. I want to do an experiment right now.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
you ready?
Mhm.
We're gonna talk instead of talking like normal human beings in a club, in a club environment. Right? We're gonna talk like they were talking. Hi, asshole! You are a total douchebag. I don't know how you have a hot girl like that. And then you respond.
Oh, we met on a cruise. You should see it. It's like 3 girls to 1.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
And then she's like, oh, I don't want to have dinner here after all. Can we go back to your bed or back to your apartment and fuck?
Wow, that guy is not my new hero.
Yeah. I don't remember what the rest.
Gets Cuban Gooding Jr. to come out to this club, and then when Cuban Gooding Jr. shows up, immediately says, no, we have to leave.
Yeah.
I have seen the promised land. Fast forward to the next day. So what did you do? Did you like drive into the sunset and wait for the fucking sunrise to come up so you could go to this fucking travel agency and be a dickhead to the... Maybe that's why they're a dickhead to the fucking people. Running into what's his nuts? Artie Lang. Isn't it Artie Lang? Who is the fucking dickhead that they're screaming at each other?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't recognize that guy.
He's somebody. Anyway, he's another fucking jerk off. He's a professional jerk off.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, that's got to be it. They were up all night canoodling or doing whatever. That's why he was so fucking cranky.
Yeah, waiting for the travel agency to
And
open.
how do you afford a fucking car and doing whatever it is they do as a janitor at a fucking massage parlor?
That's a good question. Yeah, he does have a nice
So
convertible.
you got Cuba Gooding Jr. who spent 6 months in his fucking apartment not doing fuck all, you know, and his good buddy who's a massage parlor fucking janitor. Still alleged, I guess, or not, because now he's going on a fucking cruise after he probably just got fired.
Right.
What? Like, I'm not. It's not about suspension of disbelief at this point. It's like, if you want me to think that this is even mildly funny, eliminate all this other fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate it. Like, you just wasted my fucking time.
Yeah.
And then, all right, let's continue to waste my time for another hour and 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah. The whole bit of the travel agency, didn't find any of that funny. Even like the whole, oh yeah, your mother's dead. You didn't get my sticky note?
Oh, independently wealthy, plot hole fixed. Right. Because independently wealthy people have issues getting women.
Right.
Probably. That's probably right.
No, it's probably not right.
I feel like that's...
Anyway, turns out that the guy that they insulted in the parking lot is Will Ferrell's male friend, and as revenge for them having that showdown in the parking lot, they booked him on this gay cruise without Cuba and Horatio knowing.
They go into a fucking travel agency, right? They go and sit down, and they're working out the details, and Will Ferrell comes by and tells the guy, your mom died. You didn't see the sticky?
Yeah.
What? Is that a joke? Like, all right, we're going to insert a joke here about a fucking, your mom dying on a sticky note. All right, let's see how that works. Let's make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do that. Like, okay. And then we're going to run with that. And then this is how we're going to fucking make this mix up happen. These writers, they weren't on drugs. These writers were sober. That's the problem. The people that wrote this were not on drugs. That's why this sucks so fucking bad.
Could be. Yeah.
Because they were fucking sober. They were going through some sort of thing where like Omar or Mort Nathan or whatever, he was stone sober. The writers were like, hey, listen, we're going through no drink November or whatever, and we're going to do this straight. We're going to do it sober. We're going to put out the best possible movie we can do. And this is what we get.
Yeah. And then they get onto the gay cruise full of gay stereotypes, as we talked about before. Roger Moore, former James Bond, as the most flaming of all of the homosexuals.
I don't know if he was the most flaming. I mean, he was
very overt.
He was overt.
Yeah.
He was not the most flaming.
No, that would be their neighbor.
He was not ice dick fucking squirting flaming.
Yeah.
Can we talk for a minute about just this joke would only all right, they're on a gay cruise. Oh no! It took you how long? Like, you're gonna get your bags and go check into the room.
Oh yeah, and you see scenes too where they're like, it's obvious right in front of them and they never pick up on it.
So meanwhile, they're steaming out. They're fucking days away from shore. All of a sudden, like, they're still like,
they got to their room. They saw there was one bed. They're like, huh, that's weird. They explain it away, go to the bar. They're drinking. That's when Roger Moore shows up.
Right.
He mentions that they're on a gay cruise and they're like, what? So this had to be hours later. Yeah. Because I mean, obviously they had to have like left the dock at this point.
Yeah, there's blissfully unaware, and then there's fucking. So I was going to say a name, and I'm not going to say it, but you know the name I was going to say.
Oh yeah. There was the last one of the last laughs that I had in this movie, and again, we're like 10 minutes in at this point. Roger Moore mentioned the hole-in-one room. He's like, oh, you should try the hole-in-one room. Right. And of course, they're still like oblivious. They're like, oh, you have a driving range here. So after they find out, Horatio Sands is dragging Cuba Gooding Jr. and he's like, oh, help us. Does anybody know where we can get off real quick? And somebody's like, try the hole-in-one room. And he's like, I'm starting to think that's not a real driving range, Jerry. I thought that was a funny line. The way he delivered it. Like, that was his best delivery in the whole movie. But that was it. That was the last time I laughed in this movie, I think.
I think you secretly enjoyed this movie, Jason.
I enjoyed the first 20-ish minutes. And then after that, it was just like, ugh. Unless what's her name was on screen. Then whenever she was on screen, I was good. Rosalind Sanchez.
Where do you think they were taking this cruise to?
I don't know. They
showed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, do we even know where this took place? It looked like Florida. It had a Florida look to it,
I don't know, but they took a cruise to somewhere,
where they didn't dock for 4 days.
and it was a small boat. That wasn't like a giant cruise ship, right? That's
No.
a fairly small boat.
Yeah.
I mean, based on the stock footage, right? Because
Yes.
they spent $15 million. $15 million was spent
Of 2002 money.
making this fucking tripe.
Mm-hmm.
$15 million.
Yes.
I really want to see how this was broken out. I really, really do. I want so badly to know how this money was spent.
Well, why don't we find out who the producers were? Send them some direct messages on
no.
Twitter and ask them to come
I'm
on the
gonna
show.
find out what their addresses are. I'm gonna take a shit in a fucking bag, and then I'm gonna send that bag to their place of residence, and have a homeless guy light it on fire.
Yeah. Now, one thing
Because that would be funnier than anything that's happened in this fucking movie so far.
One thing I will say that I did notice about this is gay cruises seem to be lit as fuck. Like, if you're just looking for a good time, it seems like gay cruises are the place to be. They were fucking partying like animals in this thing.
This is exploiting yet another stereotype of like the cruise environment,
Right.
And that's what they're talking about. It's like it's a stereotype that exists that these cruises are like this, wild, whatever. You can go out and have this type of party that's out there, obviously, as long as you don't get tricked into going on a gay cruise, because why would you ever do research into where you were fucking going? Like, oh, this doesn't seem strange at all that I fucking just get handed a ticket that I'd never. How did you pay for this? How did you pay for this? Massage guy, massage parlor maintenance guy. How'd you pay for this?
Yeah.
You certainly didn't sell your Trans Am for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, luckily, there was a flare gun on this boat, so you could signal for help. But
Jesus fucking Christ!
Be careful to not aim it in the same direction as a helicopter that is also in the middle of the ocean for reasons. Because if you accidentally hit that helicopter, you're going to shoot it down with a flare gun.
So, fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
You may remember this from all the hours and hours of survival school that we have taken in our careers.
Yes.
That they do say that you should not shoot directly at the aircraft.
Right.
But the reason that is so that, not because you're going to shoot down the aircraft, it's so that it's an aircraft. You don't want it to fly by. Like, so you want to shoot it like ahead of the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can see it as it's going by.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I mean, he gets the perfect trajectory. Like, I'm going to shoot. Here it comes. I play Duck Hunt a lot. I think I can just get this thing right there. Pachow! Crash. Falls down. Done. With this helicopter that had, I don't know, 18 fucking people on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How many these Swedish fucking bikini models? Which again, wow, let's again invent some fucking stupid stereotype.
They were the Swedish sun tanning team.
Right, the Swedish sun tanning team, and there was at least 12 of them, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, and then the coach, and then you would figure a pilot, at least one.
Sure, yeah.
So you're talking about 14 people on a Bell Jet Ranger. Sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Traveling how far? They're on a 4-day excursion where they haven't seen land. A helicopter's going to fly for so many days, right?
Yeah,
over open ocean,
right? Yeah.
Over open ocean.
Yep.
Yeah, totally go that far.
Mm-hmm.
And be at a low enough altitude where you'd be able to shoot it down with a fucking flare gun, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if you go right into the thermal exhaust port, it'll take the whole fucking thing down.
That would have been more realistic. If they had shown the flare, if they had gone like a tight shot in for a Jet Ranger and just shown the flare get ingested into the fucking intake, and then saw the engine shell out and watch them auto rotate down into the ocean, and then they all fucking crash and drown.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, but they had a life raft on there, obviously. And
where's the pilot, Jason?
Oh, he didn't make it.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But, the girls, I guess, because, you know, they're the sun tanning team. They travel in their bikinis,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Travel in their bikinis on a long distance over water flight,
yes,
like you do
in a helicopter.
in a helicopter.
Yeah. So, but luckily, again, the life raft was handy. They all got out safely in their bikinis and were rescued the next morning.
So maybe the writers started doing drugs again.
Yeah.
Maybe they wrote, maybe they wrote for a couple days and were like, oh, dude, this fucking sucks. We got to come up with something. Let's do a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
Like, all right, now what? Like, okay, let's have an airplane fly over and he'll shoot down the airplane. Like, well, how's he going to do that? The airplanes fly really high. It was like, we'll have a flare gun. Well, that's too high. We're like, all right, well, do it with a helicopter. Brilliant. Fucking helicopter. Write it in. How many people can fit on a helicopter? I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Yeah. You had another interesting cameo, too, when they got rescued. Bob Gunton, who is most famously known as the warden from Shawshank Redemption, is the boat captain in this. And you only see him in this one scene where they're looking out and they see the bikini girls, and it's like, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, which was not funny at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
But that was his one cameo.
Because it's a all right, here we go. Ready? It's a gay cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
It's a gay cruise with apparently an all gay crew, except for the dance coordinator.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yes. Yes.
There's no continuity issue here at all? Like, because gay men obviously can't instruct dance. Like, there's not a prolific amount of fucking gay men that can actually instruct dance. Probably far and away better than this fucking broad could. And on an all gay fucking cruise, they would definitely hire some fucking split tail to be the fucking dance instructor. That's definitely what they would fucking do.
I don't think gay men are good at dancing, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm going to rent that balloon. Go hang somebody from it.
So, like, sun tanning teams, that's not a real thing, right? I'm sitting here watching that. I'm like, I'm no genius, but I have never once heard of a sun tanning competition in my life.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Right.
That they're because there's a Hawaiian Tropic bikini team, right? There's a Hawaiian Tropic like fucking team that goes out and they do fucking calendar shoots and everything else. Go ahead, Jason, Google it. Get yourself all over some Hawaiian Tropic fucking bikini. How you doing?
I will at some point. There was one line that I got a little bit of a chuckle out of. But again, it's very stereotypical where Horatio Sands is telling the girls, oh yeah, I'm gay. And he's like saying it over and over again. It's like, okay, we get it. And then he gets stopped by the coach and she's like, you want no homo, man? As he's like, you know, fucking putting the lotion on him. He's got like a fucking boner and like she grabs him. He's like, you want no homo, man? Which I thought was kind of a funny line.
Right. When he was like putting excessive amounts of lotion.
Oh yeah, like a massive pile on this chick's back. It's like she's got like a white shirt on now,
right?
With all of this fucking lotion that he put on her.
Like, was that necessary?
No.
Like, do we need to make does that make it funnier? Was somebody going like, yeah, you know what? All right, cut. You know, Horatio, look, we need this. We need it to be funnier. It would be. This is what's going to make it funnier. If you just take the fucking we're actually gonna open this lid on this suntan lotion. We're just gonna take the lid off.
Sure, why not?
We want you to take the fucking whole thing and just right onto her back, right? The whole thing, so that it just looks it's not like, oh well, look, he's fucking pretending to jizz on her back. No. We want the whole fucking thing just so it looks uncomfortable and fucking.
Oh, it was.
And then we want you to do it again with the next person because it was funny once. God damn it, it'll be funny twice.
It wasn't funny once.
No, it wasn't funny once at all.
Jesus. So we get a lot of scenes now with Gabriella, who is the Rosalind Sanchez, the dance instructor, and Cuba Gooding Jr. A lot of interactions there. Hold on. Every outfit she's wearing, no bra.
Right.
Like practically see-through.
Right. Because she's on a gay cruise. There's no threat.
Right.
Here. Oh, wow. My God. There's this plot continuity all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, that seems reasonable, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, she's in a zero threat area.
Mm-hmm.
And here is where Cuba Gooding Jr. puts on an Oscar-worthy performance of being a gay man.
Right.
Like, good job, dude. You're
Yeah.
doing a great job
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, he actually he had to get gay lessons because now he's like, oh fuck, she thinks I'm gay. Now I got to go with this for some reason. Why couldn't you have just said, oh no, I'm not gay. We accidentally fucking got
Yeah.
on the thing. But no,
And
he
she probably would have went, yeah, that sucks.
yeah. But no, instead he had to like play this whole charade up so he could like convince her that he was gay. So then that later on he might be able to fuck her, basically, is what he was doing. Because she had alluded to in a conversation they were having earlier in the movie that, oh, yeah, I love being on these cruises with all gay men because, you know, they're not a threat. But at the same time, I could probably convince one of them to fuck me if I got horny. And I'm just like, God damn. So, and he keyed in on that. That thing. He's like, okay, so I need to convince her that I'm gay so that eventually we get to this hypothetical point where she's going to want to get banged by a gay man. And she's going to convince him to do that.
Right. Because everything else in this movie has made sense up until this point.
Right.
Like, we might as well go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because fuck it. People are following along this. They're still watching. So fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Back to the drugs.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, boom, Vivica A. Fox. All of a sudden. We just jumped to Vivica A. Fox on a fucking balcony in some fucking mansion because apparently her dad is the muffler king of Florida. And, you know, she lives in this fucking mansion with Buffer Boy down there. And she's trying to put on a show for him on the balcony. He doesn't fucking care. And then all of a sudden she walks back into the house where in the middle of her living room.
Right.
In the middle of this,
displayed.
In the center table, a picture of her and Cuba Gooding Jr., who she broke up with 6 months ago.
And it's all white.
Yeah.
Everything is white.
Yeah.
And a white frame on a white table. This is obviously a rental place for some fucking 85-year-old couple that they have all this white shit. And in a white frame, there's you and your fucking ex.
Yeah. That you broke up with 6 months ago.
Right.
You keep a picture right in the center of this fucking table in this prominent central space in this room.
Yep.
And then she looks at it, she's like, oh, and then realizes, oh, I still love him and I want him back now.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now all of a sudden she's on the hunt. She calls up her daddy to find out where he is and gets on the fucking cruise and meets them up at an island.
Right. All of it makes complete sense.
Yes.
More drugs. Let's do the drugs. Oh, by the way, do you know how much the helicopter that they
shot
flying
down.
in? They were shot down.
Yeah.
You know how many people that probably could hold legitimately?
20.
8.
Oh.
Probably 8 people.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
So not only were they fucking, you know why they were in bikinis? Because if they had worn any more clothing,
taking up more space,
they would have took up more space.
Makes sense.
And it would have been heavier.
Well, but the one girl's had a big ass, according to the coach. Remember, her ass was too big.
Oh, right.
She kept grabbing it.
But her hair was not, an issue.
Right.
She had big volume of hair for 2002. I mean.
Oh, yeah. It looks straight out of like 1992, but whatever. We digress.
I just spent 5 minutes looking up helicopter fucking capacities by.
Yeah. From here, I've got a note that just says so many bad jokes and bad delivery between Cuba Gooding Jr., Horatio Sands, just a constant stream of just bad jokes that they didn't deliver with any real.
Was that one funny? No.
Yeah.
Well, let's go another one. Well, should we reshoot that one? Nah, fuck it. We need to fill this time up. Let's go. Just throw down another one. They'll keep getting funnier.
We have an awkward moment with the coach demonstrating her oral skills because Horatio Sands accidentally went into her room and fucking went down on her before he realized she was not one of the models. And that was a whole fucking weird scene as like she discovered like he was down there and she like wrapped her legs around him and then like I think she was into it while he's trying to get away. It was kind of hard to tell.
She was totally into it.
Yeah.
This whole fucking thing bothered me. I don't.
So
I didn't like any of the. Okay, here's these dumb broads like doing ridiculous police academy like shit with the fucking this
yumping yaks.
Yeah,
and all
this like just really just over the top fucking ridiculous shit. like, oh, well, shit, we have this rating. We could probably get them topless, so off with their tops. Because everybody likes that. Which, I mean, fair,
Sure.
but it doesn't change the fact that it's just fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, mute the sound. Well, this is pleasant. And then turn it off. So whatever, somebody research what minute that scene comes on, because that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only payoff you get from that fucking, that whatever, what rating was this? Was this PG-13?
No, it was definitely R.
Was it?
There's tits in it.
Do you have to?
And they say fuck multiple times.
That's true. I don't know. I'm skewed. I don't fucking know these things anymore.
It was definitely R. Because the DVD version, sidebar. It came out in multiple versions of DVD. It came out with a normal version and an unrated version, which, well, the funny thing about that is the normal DVD, the menu, remember how DVDs used to have these like flashy menus and stuff? The menu of the normal DVD was like 3 of these girls like sunbathing, right? And it's like video, right? It's just videos of them just going, like bathing in the sun, and then you see play movie, chapters, blah, 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 blah. In the unrated version, they're fucking topless in it. Like in the DVD menu, these 3 chicks just laying there topless, just sunbathing, kind of moving here and there. And then you've got play movie, chapters, info, extras. It was just very strange.
Well, they should have fucking exploited that more
in
the actual fucking movie.
Anyway, we get this they've got this neighbor who pops in and out throughout this movie. Hector. Very, very, you talk about the most flamboyant person in this whole movie. Like every gay stereotype you could think of. Like Cuba Gooding Jr. got gay lessons from him at one point. Then they have this moment where Horatio Sands, or no, maybe, yeah, I think it was Horatio Sands was talking to him. And it was like the only genuine moment in this whole fucking movie, where it was like a real, like kind of an emotional conversation, because Hector was talking about his father, who, you know, didn't like gay people, didn't think it was right and everything. And on his deathbed, he like apologized to his son and said, you know, oh, I wasted so much time and all this. And I was like, wow, that was a really out of place kind of emotional moment in this whole fucking movie.
Yes. Out of place.
Yeah.
Somebody had some, obviously, it was very out of place. It was just, sure.
Yeah.
Throw it in there. Why not?
I mean, it was a good scene by itself, right? But like mixed in with all of this other bullshit, it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
So that's like, you go to the gym, right? And you get a smoothie. And it's like a recovery smoothie, and you know it's not going to be good, but
right.
but you know it's all right. It's got the little stuff that's good for you, and you're getting through it, and you're like, God, this is terrible. And all of a sudden you're like, well, that was unusually good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start drinking again, and it's shit again.
Right.
That's what you're describing, right?
Yeah. No, you're probably right. But yeah, it was just a very out of place scene.
Cheers, Ivo.
And I never thought like a woman demonstrating a blowjob was ever going to be awkward, but we got this scene with fucking Rosalind Sanchez and Cuba Gooding Jr., and she's asking him like, oh, how do you perform oral? Because at this point she still thinks he's gay. And like they get out a fucking banana, and like she's demonstrating her technique, which you would think would be like sexy, but I'm watching, I'm just like uncomfortable. I'm just like, yeah, this is not as hot as I think that they're thinking this is going to be.
Yeah, and plus this is gone on too long.
Yes.
Like this has gone on for long enough. Is Vivica A. Fox actually in a fucking airplane flying towards them right now, and they're waiting for her? Like, fuck, come on.
Yeah,
we're killing enough time. Let's get her the fuck out here.
And and obviously this movie has got to be at least somewhat offensive to, you know, normal gay people, homosexual men. But I think the most egregious thing happens towards the end when Horatio Sands gets fucking drunk and goes and sleeps with one of the gay guys, right? Mm-hmm. So he gets super fucking drunk, ends up waking up next to this guy the next morning. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm gay now. Like I slept next to this dude and now I had this epiphany. I'm gay. And it's like, now I want to be with all the gay people. And that lasted for about 5 minutes until he sees one of the suntanning women go, and he's like, oh, sorry, baby, I've got a whole new life and a new thing. And then the guy comes up to him right after that. He's like, you know, we didn't do anything last night, right? And he's like, what? come back. And he's like, all of a sudden, not gay again. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
That was supposed to be a joke.
Right.
Right.
Which,
that was supposed to be a joke.
yeah, that.
Right. Like much of this movie.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
And as a gay person, I would imagine being pretty offended by that whole
Just
sequence.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
Now, maybe. You know what? I'll save that for the end. I'll save
Okay.
that.
Well, we're almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah, because
No, but we're not there yet because we haven't gone skydiving yet. So
oh yeah. So
we're almost there.
well, let's wrap it up quick because Vivica A. Fox shows up. Fucking homegirl learns that Cuba's not actually gay after he bangs her under a fucking orange tree out in public.
Yeah, with the oranges collapsing like a fucking pyramid because
Yeah.
that's a real thing.
Right, yeah. For reasons. Anyway,
Jesus.
so he bones her.
So fucking bad. So bad.
Vivica Fox shows up. Big blow up. He decides to go back with her because fucking, Rosalind Sanchez doesn't want any part of him now. So he's like, all right, I'll marry you. And
Yeah, because you lied to me.
yeah.
Like, well, yeah. Yep.
And then
You're
that's
right.
it. Fast forward. They're off the boat now. We're months later. They're off the boat. There's no like docking scene. There's no like nothing. It's just like all
Well,
of
no,
a sudden.
because they didn't
boom.
have that file footage.
Right.
They were running out of money,
Uh-huh.
right? Because they spent all that money on oranges
And cocaine.
and
Shrooms, probably. Yeah.
They must have at this point.
Yeah.
Oh no, because they probably ran out. They probably ran out of drugs at this point. They spent all that money on like writing halfway through the movie, and then bought a bunch of oranges.
Yeah. Then like, oh fuck, we're out of drugs. We have oranges now. Just go to finish. Go to finish.
Right. Yeah. We have all these oranges. They were real expensive. Fuck. Now we gotta fast forward.
Yes.
Prepare to fast forward.
And yeah, we fast forward to the wedding.
Fast forwarding, sir.
Yeah. And we're already at the wedding. And
Do you?
what?
Like, never mind.
Sorry.
Do you? Good. You're married. Kiss her.
Oh, right.
Fucking,
Yeah, that's basically what it is. We get up to the front, and then all the gays that Horatio Sands was hanging out with on the boat are all at the wedding,
at all the poker players,
and they're doing like secret talking. So you're thinking, oh, fucking Rosalind Sanchez is going to show up and interrupt the wedding, and it's going to be happily ever after. No,
Nope.
They interrupt it, and they're like, you don't want to be with her. You want to be with the dance instructor, and we know where she is. She's on the boat that left yesterday or whatever. And it's like, what? But don't worry, we have a plan. And they go up in a fucking airplane and skydive onto the boat that she's now currently on.
Why?
With Roger Moore, by the way, who keeps popping up randomly throughout this fucking movie.
Because I guess they paid a lot of money for him, so they're going to get as much.
That's where a lot of that budget probably went.
Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr. and
Roger
Moore.
Yeah.
All right, Roger Moore, we're going to make you a gay guy. Here's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Now go lick this sausage right in Horatio Sands' face.
So let's go up in an airplane. Okay. We're going to take big fat guy, but he's not going to jump with you.
Right.
We're going to bring Roger Moore, who I guess owns the airplane.
Right. And he was also a paratrooper and
Right. So it's some fucking whatever. Right. And to make this more realistic, they're going to do a tandem jump.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been so on point, and there's been so much continuity, especially when they're with their aviation, and with their obvious balloon piloting and fucking with their helicopter. They're so strong with their continuity that we're going to skydive with a tandem jump.
Yep. Onto a moving cruise ship.
Onto a moving cruise ship. Right.
What could go wrong?
Could possibly go wrong.
Well, nothing apparently, because they stuck the landing right in the pool too.
Right in the pool. Because yeah, ironically, because that's how they met, right in the pool. So
yes, and there were so many
you
stupid
had me at
bits.
hello.
Yeah, so many stupid bits with that fucking pool where he's like, whoa, 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 and he falls into the pool, the like 3 foot high fucking pool.
This is an hour and 25 minutes of stupid bits
Yeah,
that don't hit.
yeah.
Like The funniest thing in this movie, hands down, is the fucking frozen dicks. That one scene that you mentioned is probably
how gay can a buffet be?
That's the funniest thing in this entire fucking movie.
Yeah, it might be.
And that was probably by accident.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that they legitimately fucking wrote a single funny thing in this. It is a pile of contrived fucking just absolute dog shit rolled up into a bag and should have been lit on fire and thrown into somebody's fucking hedgerow. It was just, I don't want to ever be fucking subjected to something like that. This is what's going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
When something like this happens again, I'm going to do at least a little bit. I'm going to look, what am I getting ready to watch? Because I didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
I just went straight into this I think I know what this movie is. No, I did not. I didn't know anything about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Cuba Gooding Jr. was in it. I didn't know there was about a gay cruise. I didn't know fucking this SNL cast was in it. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And I went into it and was immediately fucking irritated. And then irritated to the point not wearing underwear in August, wearing fucking burlap fucking pants. Irritated. That's how irritated this fucking movie made me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. How could you like this movie? Unless you were a gay guy who enjoyed looking at all the gay dudes. Or all the dudes. They don't necessarily all had to be gay in there.
Mm-hmm.
If there was some eye candy in there that fucking was good to look at, just like it was good for us to look at the fucking tits and ass in there, awesome.
Yeah.
I hope that you got that out of this. At least you would have got something, because it certainly wasn't the fucking overly homophobic fucking stereotypical jokes. Even in 2002.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
And there's no way this movie ever could possibly get made today. Ever.
No.
But
I don't think you could be, there were two gay guys that said, hey, we're going to make a movie about a gay cruise. I think people would go, maybe want to think about it.
Yeah.
Maybe think about it. Or at least write it funny. It just
Right.
wasn't funny. I mean, that's the biggest thing to me, right? That factor of the gay cruise and everything else, that could be really funny if you had the right people.
Right. The right people, the right dialogue.
Yeah. Well, even that dialogue, I swear to God, after I said it earlier, if you take Chris Farley and give him that fucking script, hey, dude, we want you to fucking do this part, right? However you need to make this fucking work and make this funny, do it.
Oh, and he would have.
And he was fucking hilarious, because Chris Farley was a brilliant comic actor.
Mm-hmm.
Horatio Sands has his moments. He is not that type of actor.
No.
And that's what they would have needed to make this fucking movie funny. And to make it have more than 7% on fucking Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
This isn't just Dave shitting on this fucking thing. Everybody shat on this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I am certainly not the only one.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a crying shame that people got paid. There was a craft services that made money by this movie being made. $15 million was paid to people for making this fucking movie, and good on them for making money off of this movie.
Yeah.
However, the idea that this movie cost $15 million to make is mind-blowing. How much did it cost Birdemic?
Oh, in the tens of thousands.
I think you could have made this movie for the same amount of money.
Probably. Though you wouldn't have had the ice sculpture dicks. And that was
You know what?
that was a key component.
You know
of this
what?
whole movie.
You know what? If somebody had said, "Hey, we need to do a indie," they have, what's that indie film? It's like a GoFundMe thing, but it's for movies.
Oh, Project Greenlight?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
If they did something like that, it's like, hey, we're gonna do this, but and here we added actors and everything else, but we were short on a couple of things, and then list the items, and then one of those items is going to be like giant ice sticks. I would put $10 towards that. Here you go. Here's $10 to make your giant ice sticks happen.
Right.
I want to see. Go for it. Go forth and fucking make your giant ice sticks, because who should be deprived of that?
That's a good point. So I had one little quick thing. If you're looking for a movie about gay culture and things of that nature that's actually really funny, and you want a good contrast to what this is, go check out The Birdcage from '96. I think it was.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Robin Williams, Nathan Lane,
Yeah.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah, Hank Azaria. And, you know, the guy, Hector, the neighbor in this, obviously channeling that Hank Azaria character from The Birdcage. But yeah, watch The Birdcage. That's you get the same kind of idea in an actual good movie with good performances, and that's sort of the contrast to what you see here in Boat Trip. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, you had joked about making a top 5 list.
Oh yeah.
As you were doing this, so
top 5 things I would rather be doing. Hang on.
Because I did the same. Now, I wasn't quite sure how you did your list, but I'm like, I might as well make a list too.
Okay. You start.
All right. So I kind of went with top 5 things I'd rather be doing than watching this movie again. Number 5, eating my mom's meatloaf. My mom's meatloaf was terrible, and I know you watch the show, Mom. You know it's true, because there were times when you would force me to eat it, and I would like literally gag as I'm trying to like shove your terrible meatloaf down my throat. But I'd rather do that again.
Wow.
Again, I love you, Mom, but you know it's true.
This is coming from the same guy who says he didn't like mac and cheese.
I never said I didn't like mac and cheese.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I said it's just not my favorite. I don't like prefer it. I don't eat it a lot, but I don't dislike it.
And then when given examples of mac and cheese, the only thing you presented that was even close to mac and cheese was a pasta salad. It was not mac and cheese.
I have eaten mac and cheese before, and it's not disgusting. It's just not my preferred meal.
Anyway, I'm sure your meatloaf is fantastic, and shame on you, Jason. Shame on you.
This list was your idea.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna fucking throw my mom's meatloaf into this. That's just uncalled for. Jeez.
What's your number 5?
Ass waxed. I'd rather have my ass waxed
Okay.
than fucking do this. As somebody, I'm sure you can appreciate, because you did yourself have a waxing.
Never on my ass though.
Well, I mean, just.
But
just
I did try the full body waxing.
Right.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah. So I would rather go through that than watch this again.
All right, your number 4?
My number 4 is the dentist.
Ooh.
I would rather go to the dentist for a cleaning.
Okay.
For a cleaning.
All right, my number 4, driving behind somebody from Pennsylvania. My number 3, I hear a lot of guys like pegging, so I think I'd go ahead and take that over watching this movie again.
This is supposed to be realistic, Jason.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's already there. It's already on paper.
Wow, we haven't said pegging in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my number 3. Your number 3.
Pegging. That's really funny. Number 3 would be the dentist having a cavity filled.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
All right, your number 2?
My number 2 is getting a sunburn on the top of my feet.
Ooh, yeah, sunburns are the worst, and that's a pretty bad place.
On the top of my feet.
Though I hate it more on my back, but yeah, to each their own. My number 2, go to work. I'd rather go to work than watch this again.
Yes.
My number 1, watch the holiday special. I kind of flipped it up a little bit for the number 1.
Look at you.
But I'd watch the holiday special over doing a lot of things.
Dude,
so.
in a hot fucking minute, I'd watch the holiday special over this.
Yeah.
Just because Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
And Carrie Fisher stumbling around that desk when she's high as fuck and her eyes are like this. And
and Luke's obviously got some sort of plastic head. You know, it's like
these are the things dreams are made of.
Oh my God.
And your number 1.
So My number one. I don't know if I've ever told this story before.
Oh boy.
All right.
This is a payoff for the people who have like stuck with us to the end.
Yeah. So, have I told the story before about when I burned myself on the fire pit?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, I'll this is going to be the abbreviated version of this story. But one night that we were at a neighbor's house, this is years ago. It was in my drinking days, and we were playing beer pong. Right. This is how this night went.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing beer pong.
Alcohol makes any story better.
Right.
So.
Playing beer pong and fucking drinking and having a good time. And Kathy and the kids, because the neighbor kids and all the kids that they played with and everything else, and guys I was coaching in Little League with. So Kathy and kids ended up going home, and I had my bike. I had ridden my bike there, knowing full well I was not going to be driving.
Mm-hmm.
So Kathy and the kids went home, and I was there late. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm helping clean up. Well, we'd had a fire that night. And I'm, it's summertime, shorts, flip-flops, and everything. And we had a fire that night. And while we were cleaning up, in my brain, I thought it was a good idea to try and jump on top of the fire pit. Right? Like, so if you can imagine, it was a one of those tractor trailer rings, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to jump on it and get both feet on there like this and kind of like ride it like a skateboard. So, needless to say, I was inebriated.
Yeah, clearly.
And one foot just didn't quite land quite right. And I basically kick flipped this fucking red hot tire rim into my inner thigh. Right? And the way that my leg was at, this is on my right inner thigh. And it basically, it's seared. I don't know if you can't see it on the camera. I can't stand up tall enough to do it.
Me so hard.
Yeah. It basically, it had a burn mark about this long that like went up, like somehow my pant leg had pulled up and it just got up there. And like, it was probably about a good 2-3 inches from hitting the promised land.
Fuck.
2nd or 3rd degree burns on my leg.
Ugh.
Right? So this immediately sobers me up. And what I did was I fucking excused myself. Said, you know what? I'm going to go. I got on my bike, rode to the house, stumbled into the fucking house, and started triaging the area. Like, not good, very painful. And I probably should have went to the hospital, but didn't. And
do you still have scars from this?
No.
Oh, wow.
I kind of know what I'm doing. So thankfully, knowing how to clean and treat wounds, and like my wound care was excellent, and I ended up not even having a scar. But ironically, so I did this, wake up the next morning, there's like paper everywhere from me fucking opening bandages and shit like that. And I have to tell Kathy what the fuck happened. And she's like, just dumbfounded at my stupidity. And the next day, it was like, or 2 days later, right? Because this was the weekend. 2 days later, we're at work. I was playing intramural golf and trying to play golf with this fucking wound on my leg.
Jeez. And
sweating. Like, this is August, right? So like I'm sweating into this fucking, it's just so fucking painful. I do that again.
Wow.
Fuck this movie.
Wow.
The fact that this movie exists in my skull for any reason, it really bothers me now. I feel like my time has been wasted.
Well, thankfully it was only an hour and a half. Felt like 5 hours at some points during this movie, but it was only an hour and a half. That being said, next week,
yes,
we're talking about another movie quite different from this. It is the 50th anniversary of The Godfather.
It is.
A movie I have never seen. So this is going to be a first for me. This was selected by our staff member, Lunar Girl. She's a huge Godfather fan, apparently.
Right.
So she was very adamant that we do this movie.
Listen, this is The Godfather. So I think I don't know what your feelings are about like these types of movies, like mob movies, stuff like that.
I really liked Casino.
Okay.
I liked Goodfellas.
Okay.
I would imagine we're kind of along those same lines.
Well, understand that those movies don't exist without this one.
Naturally.
So, yeah. I'm not telling you that you're going to like it or dislike it. I'm just saying that, like, as you're watching it, you'll understand.
Okay.
Yeah, one way or the other. So, we'll get, yeah, I expect to get a really good idea out of you. I haven't watched it in forever, so it'll be fun for me to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. And we're just doing the original.
Just the original, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's my understanding these are all pretty long movies, too.
They are.
So, yeah, it's probably going to be like a 2-night type of deal for us to watch the movie. So,
yeah, I'm probably going to have this on in a small window while I'm doing homework or something.
but yeah, I'm going into this pretty fresh. The only thing I know about it for sure is apparently a gift that somebody gets in their bed. That's apparently very well known.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I don't know shit about this movie.
You've heard lines from it too that you'll recognize
Sure.
as you're like, oh, like I've heard people say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But that's that. Any more Red 5 stuff to talk about?
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
What you got? Lay it on me.
After our
Do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
fucking thing sucks. In Red 5 news, after our show at midnight on the East Coast, tune into S&P Late Night over at the Salty Nerd Podcast on YouTube, where Salty will be discussing The Boys Diabolical. Diabolical? Diabolical.
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
The Boys. That's
Oh, that's that show. Is it? That's Amazon, right? Prime Video.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay.
With special guests Tom, not Bronco Fett, and Andre from Backseat Directors. The Red 5 Network is about to have 37 amazing podcasts in their family.
I'm 37? 37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
In a row? I love the in a row part. That's my favorite part of the whole bit. 37 amazing podcasts in their family. There's literally something for every personality. Browse through bio.link/red5 or shoot Luna Girl a DM on any of our socials. She can suggest something you'll probably love that is perfect for you. Totally not kidding.
Do it.
For the Cantina family happenings, the Use and Abuse pod continues March Music Madness tomorrow with the music of Him, H-I-M, with special guests Hannah and Mikey. Join hosts Scott and Kim in their live chat Tuesday at 1900 Eastern on YouTube. We didn't talk at all about the movement that's afoot right now in Congress to...
Oh, the daylight savings thing?
Yeah, to make...
I posted something in the Cantina.
Did you?
Yeah, I think it was after last week's episode because last week was when we were bitching about daylight savings
and like
time.
the next day there was something like,
and of course all the detractors were like, but the kids in the dark and going to school.
Fuck your kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fuck the kids.
Oh, hey,
we're the future.
Sidebar Canteen is live right now. I just got my YouTube notification.
Oh, good to know.
Just now.
That's great. Glad to see they're on top of things as we're winding down.
An hour and 53 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You're right over there?
On Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be hosting the Batman Roundtable discussion. As soon as I was trying to say that, I was thinking, it's episode 101, the Batman Roundtable discussion. I was thinking 101. It's like a missed opportunity to not do like 101 Dalmatians or something like that.
If you're into that kind of thing.
The Batman Roundtable discussion with special guests Joker Voice, Steve from Rogue One Radio, and Chantal from Scarif Podcast. Join Don Della Snooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy in their live chat 7:05 Eastern on YouTube.
Still won't do it.
The Orange and Fett Show released episode 21, The Amalgam Age of Comics.
It was a good age. I mean, it was like a month or two long, something like that, but it was good.
Subscribe to them on Spotify and give it a listen and be notified of their upcoming releases. Big Swede has been revamping his studio. Chat with him on Discord Follow him on Instagram for updates and check out some of his hits. The Quarantine Sessions at Swede Studios on YouTube. And thank you, Swede, for checking in with us earlier today to help us troubleshoot some of our audio issues.
And now we're good to go. We can actually have guests or guest.
Yeah.
I should say. We're not going to be these fucking shows. I said this a couple weeks ago. There's going to have like 3 or more guests on at a fucking time. That's too much. Too much. Sorry, Escape Pod guys, but that's too much.
So small.
So small. My penis is so smooth.
I had to wait. I know it's not you leaning over there. You can find us at bio.links/the Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to YouTube, audio, Patreon, our Spotify music, mixtapes, and all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Luna Girl enjoys chatting with you in the DMs and reposting the memes you send her. She says thanks. Also in bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. We have tees. We have t-shirts, hoodies, and a wide variety of designs, sizes, and colors. There are Sidebar Cantina face masks. Sidebar, we said goodbye to our Australian boom operator the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He's going back to his mainland, and it's always fucked with me, like those extra U's and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like color, like Wally. I'm sure Wally can speak to that too. Like he always would give us so much shit because we spelled color wrong in his mind. I'm like, why would there be a U? That doesn't make like color, I guess. Anyway,
Makes no sense to
now
me.
when I read, as I'm reading it, like I'm anyway, I'm like punch drunk right now from fucking pain. But
real quick, Don from the Escape Pod's in the show too.
What up?
We can have you guys on as a pair, as guests, but that's it.
That's one stream.
That's 2 people.
That's one stream.
Max. Like we've done the 4 of us on this show before, and that's fine. But
yeah, now that we've got that figured out, one stream, 2 hosts, no problem.
yeah. So anyway, carry
2
on.
cups, 1 girl.
Eh.
Wait, what? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, TeePublic. Speaking of Don, I don't know if he was in there earlier when we were talking about
The wager.
the wager
Yeah.
between Villanova and Michigan. If Villanova wins, then the Escape Pod will be sporting some Sidebar Cantina merch. If Michigan wins, then I will be sporting some Escape Pod merch. So, and you can find that merch in the TeePublic merch shop with t-shirts, hoodies, and a wide variety of designs, t-shirts, sizes, and colors. There are Sidebar Cantina face masks, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers and pins, just about anything you can imagine. Please tag us with your merch so Lunager can share it on the socials. Reviews. Write us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app or on our Facebook page. Screenshot it and DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. Love our singing. Do you love our singing? We didn't sing. I was doing too much fucking ranting to... Loud noises!
Sorry.
Okay.
Whoops. I'm on the wrong page.
Jason.
We're professionals here.
Write us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app or on our Facebook page. Screenshot it and DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. Do you love our singing? Want to more acts? We were severely lacking in the act department today. Tell us what you love about the show. Luna Girl has a fresh order of stickers and would love to throw some swag your way. Don't forget, we will read your review word for word on our next episode. Ack! Ack, ack, ack! Ack! Ack, ack! Speaking of, for the Patreon, how you doing? That's right, there's 3 of us. There's 3 of you. Don't listen to Jason. Yes, you can come on.
Nope.
It's still one stream though. Wouldn't it still be one stream? Why did it do that again?
What are you doing over there? What are you doing, fucker?
That was you.
Oh, whoops.
Ah! Ha! Which is the fucking monkey.
Yeah.
Isn't it still one stream?
I don't
fucking
know.
care. Don't listen to him. Anyway, I fucking forgot.
That's fine. We were pretty much done anyway.
I'm spent.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It was a draining episode.
So much yelling.
Yeah. So anyway, join us next week for The Godfather. And if you don't have anything else, Dave, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off. Are we not doing the OT this week?
We should do the OT.
Should we? Is there anything like...
I don't know. Just do the OT.
All right, fine. All right, then I guess we're going to sign off now.
We're going to do the OT.
All right. Well, join us on there. And until next time, Dave, everybody else, go fuck yourself.
Go fucking boat trip yourself. Ack, ack, ack.
All right, recording's off. Stream's going off. Join us back for the OT.